My name is Enna Alouette. My name is Enna Alouette. Enna Alouette. Enna Alouette. Enna Alouette. Enna Alouette. Okay, I'm back. What's going on? I haven't streamed in so long. I don't know how to stream anymore. How do you do with Zatsudan? I missed you guys. I know everybody has been calling me by my real name. I'm like confused. Okay, so I did a mini procedure like 2 weeks ago. And I really underestimated it because my doctor was like, you can go home the same day. I was like, oh, that's nothing. They're like, yeah, just take some Tylenol, just rest in bed, you'll be fine in a couple of days. Holy motherfucking of all motherfucking Jesus, of all motherfucking whatever. Like, oh my lord, the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life. These doctors lie. They lie to you. Well, it's very interesting. I had this procedure and I wasn't even under, what's it called? Full anesthesia, yeah. It was just local. Oh my god, so before I went in for the procedure, they told me to like change into a gown. And they're like, just sit here and wait. And then all of a sudden, there's this lady that comes out of the procedure room. And there's like 3 nurses like holding her up. Like she wasn't even walking anymore. And this patient looked so dead. I'm not even joking. I'm not exaggerating. She came out and she looked like she was a zombie. I looked at her and I was like, why the fuck do I have to see this? Why do I have to see this right before my procedure? She looked so like gone. Like she looked like she was about to faint. And I was like, why didn't you close the curtains on my waiting room? Like, oh my god, that's me in a couple of minutes. I'm so dead. I'm dead, everyone. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna put an IV in you. And I was like, why? I don't know why doctors and nurses always have to put something in your vein. They'll be like, okay, just gonna stick a needle in your arm. And this needle is gonna be in your arm for as long as you're here. And I'm just like, yeah, they do it for fun, like 100%. But yeah, I mean, I just don't really like the feeling of a needle in my arm. But, you know, you can't really be a diva in these places, unfortunately. I think on Halloween, actually, which I thought it was really funny. I was like, this is the longest amount of time I've given blood. And I asked the nurse, I was like, how much are you taking? She's like, 12 tubes. Yeah, I was like an actual vampire. She was like, are you feeling okay? I'm like, honestly, I'm okay, but feeling a little dizzy because you're taking so much blood. It's like, it's almost over. I don't like to look when people take my blood. I like always look away. But I can hear it. They're like, shh, 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 shh. I'm like, how much do you need? Like, do I get money for this? Like, are you secretly donating my blood? It's also like universal. I can just donate it to anyone. Why are you doing the sound effects? So immersive. Oh my god. Before I continue on with the story of the procedure, like before all this, I went to a spa just to relax myself. Because like, it helps. And the spa lady was trying to sell me something. And then I told her my health problem. So she'd stop like trying to sell me stuff. It's very effective. She looks at me, she's like, oh my god, please be healthy. You're too pretty to be sick. I'm like, what the fuck? Who the fuck says that? She said that in English, by the way. I don't know, I was like, this is a really nice compliment, but also like, who the fuck says you're too pretty to be sick? Are you saying that like ugly people should like die or something? I was so confused. I was like, I couldn't stop like smiling. I was like, thank you. And then I just left. I was like, what's happening? And honestly, it worked. You know what? I'll come back. It worked, guys. This is what you need to do. Yeah, anyway, so they put an IV in me. And I asked the nurse, I was like, sometimes I can get so pathetic, you know? I seriously will be that person to ask the nurse, like, is this gonna hurt? And the nurse is like, do you know what's happening? I'm like, no. Well, I think so, but not really. And they're like, okay, if this is your first time doing this procedure, I'll guide you through it. So, you're gonna lay on this bed. And this bed is really uncomfortable, okay? Like, they make these things uncomfortable on purpose. They don't want you there. And then she's like, then you're gonna wear a mask, and that mask is going to give you some loopy gas. You might feel a little dizzy, you're free to close your eyes. Some people fall asleep to it, some people don't. You won't feel anything during the procedure, you'll just feel a little bit of pressure. I was like, is it possible to be, like, put under sedation, like, completely? I was like, it's really not a long procedure, so that's why we're using local anesthesia. You'll be fine, I promise you won't feel anything, and if you do, we'll give you a little more. And I was like, if you do? So it is possible to feel something. I was like, you just outed yourself. I was so nervous, they put the mask on me. And I was like, oh my god, this gas smells so weird. And then like minutes later, they're like, okay, I'm gonna give you the gas. I was like, what? I thought they were giving me the gas. I was like, holy shit, this gas is not putting me to sleep. I'm not feeling dizzy. So what I ended up smelling was just the plastic smell of the mask. And then she started giving me the gas, and I'm not even joking, like, visually, like, everything was so loopy. You know, like those, how can I illustrate this? Basically, think about audio waves, but like very, very like, or like ocean waves. Yeah, now apply that to your vision. It was so crazy. I was like, I'm not even joking, I just passed out. I don't know why. Thank you to my body and my brain. Just do not want to be here. And I could hear a little bit of what the doctor said. For the most part, I can't remember anything. I think like the thing is like during the procedure, I probably like heard everything, but once the gas wore off, I couldn't remember anything anymore. And then my doctor's really positive, and she has a really like high-pitched voice, so like I can identify her quite easily. She was just like, and we're done! And I was like, oh, okay, we're finished. And the nurse is like, Enna, we're back, we're done, you can wake up now. And I was like, what? And my doctor was like asking me a bunch of questions. She's like, Enna, question 1, question 2. I looked at her, I was like, I know you're asking me questions, but I really don't want to think right now because I'm sleepy. I was like, can I answer them later? And she laughed at me. She's like, oh, it's okay, you passed the test. I guess they ask you stuff just to make sure that your brain isn't like dead. So you're supposed to be in the hospital a little bit longer once you're under the gas thing. So they give you like about 10 to 15 minutes to kind of like rest there. I sat down and I took another nap. I'm just so tired. But anyways, got home. You know, I guess I didn't really understand the effects of the gas. I guess like it still acted as a painkiller for a couple more hours, because up until I got home and a couple hours after, I was like, whoa, this procedure is so crazy. Like I don't feel anything. It's like I didn't even do anything. Like, it's awesome. And then it came. Oh my fucking god, the local anesthetics wore off, and I was like, my whole body just fucking hurt. I was like, whoa. It's equivalent of getting punched, like, in the gut, like, about 50 times. I was like, what the fuck is this pain, brother? like I had a really bad period cramp, like, many years ago, and it exceeded even that. It was, like, maybe, like, 10 times or 50 times that pain. I was like, I couldn't walk. Couldn't even sit up. Like, sitting on my ass hurt. And I have ass, you know? I'm just trying to say, like, you know, if you had a bony ass, it would probably hurt more because there's no cushioning. The only position that I found any sort of comfort in was a fetal position, or like just lying down. And a big dumpty lore, thank you. Weird flex, but okay. Yeah. That's not a lore, I've been saying that, like, for so many years. I told you guys I have ass. It's just like in the back so you can't see. Anyways, I remember messaging Millie and I was like, hey, I don't think I can do the collab today. I kind of not feel so good. At that point, it was painful, but it was still kind of like, I could like muster up some strength to text somebody. And then it got worse. Good thing I messaged Millie, because then she told the others. But, like, I couldn't even find strength to like log into my Enna Discord and like tell Kurara-chan and Alira. I've never had so much pain in my life, like, actually. It was so painful that I started sweating in places I've never sweated in before. Like, I've never seen so much sweat on myself, like, Jesus Christ. I called my doctor and I was like, is this supposed to be this painful? And my doctor was like, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you just did a procedure, so just lie in bed, don't move, drink Gatorade, and if the pain is really bad, take a Tylenol. And I was like, really? That's it? Like, okay. It was a whole roller coaster. I was like in panic. I feel like whatever happened last year was way worse. But this time I think because it was accompanied by a lot of pain, my brain was probably like, whoa, this is so dangerous. We need to do something. And that like overruled my logic. I was kind of nervous to stream. I was like, what am I going to talk about that doesn't like reveal what is happening? But also I kind of want to tell everyone like my experiences with the medical events. And honestly, like, much as I shit on our healthcare system, I have to say, like, besides the fact that you have to wait 500 years, we have quite good medicine in Canada. I'm very lucky. And honestly, like, I still have to pay a lot of money for like actual medicine and stuff. It's incredibly expensive. I'm paying up to like thousands of dollars, and I was like, whoa. So I was just like, holy shit, what if we didn't have free healthcare? This would have been much more. I was so shocked. I was like, holy moly. But anyways, I always say that, like, this is what money is for. Like, we always want to save up money for, you know, luxury stuff. But I think the most important thing is always health. And I'm just so lucky that I can, like, cover this to the best of my abilities. Thank you, past Enna, for opening a savings account for your mother. Because now I have that account to use for myself. How's mom? Mom's been doing really good. My mom is great. She's on vacation. She went to travel with my auntie. I'm just like, cool, bye guys. My dad's having like a mental spiral. My dad's like worried about me. I think it's because he's not near me physically. Like he's on the other side of the world. So he's, every time I call him, he's like, looks like he's about to cry. And I'm like, okay man, I'm coming back, okay? Just give me a minute. Yeah, I will visit him 100% once I can. Also, I just want to go to Japan. Always wanted everybody to call me One-chan. I'm gonna get demonetized.